Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are all doing great and preparing well for your exam. You have less than a week, so I hope your preparation have already completed and you are just revising. So in this video, as you can see, there is a quick revision series mentioned. So yes, of course, we are going to revise from PYQ's sample paper and questions that I have made. So quickly, if you have joined for the first time, do like, share and subscribe the channel, and also press the bell icon to get the latest informations and post updates. And also for the PDF and notes, do join the Telegram channel and other informations. And the one who have already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, everyone. Without delay, let's start. Do share more and more students who are also preparing for the dream. So without delay, let's start with the first question. See the first question on your screen, everyone. This question I have taken from the June 2023 PYQ, so you can imagine which type of questions you are going to see in your exam. So the question is, the full form of MLAT is, there are four options, you have to choose the correct one. MLAT, you have to find the correct full form of this abbreviation. So here is the options: modern language alertness test, option B modern language affective test, option C modern language aptitude test, and option D modern language acquisition test. Easy one, moderate one, and the difficult type of question you will see in this quick revision series. This is the pattern of NTA. Correct answer, everybody. Correct answer of the question is modern language aptitude test, that is MLAT, is modern language aptitude test. What is MLAT? MLAT is a standardized test to assess language learning potential. Next question. Next question you have. Statement 1, the book The Life of the Drama was written by Eric Bentley, and option 2 or statement 2 is saying the book of the life of the drama highlights the lives of certain seminal 20th century dramatists. Here are the options you can see. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are true. Option B, both statement 1 and statement 2 are false. Option C, statement 1 is true but statement 2 is false, and D is saying statement 2 is true but statement 1 is false. Correct answer. The book The Life of the Drama was written by Eric Bentley, and the statement 2 is saying that the book of the life of the drama highlights the lives of certain seminal 20th century dramatists. Correct answer. Correct answer of the question is statement 1 is true but statement 2 is false. It simply defines that the life of the drama was written by Eric Bentley is correct, but the book The Life of the Drama does not highlight the lives of certain seminal 20th century dramatists. So this makes the statement 2 false. Eric Bentley's The Life of the Drama 1964 analyzes the nature of drama, not the biographies of dramatists. Next question you have. I have to decrease the size. See the question, then options. List 1 you have match with list 2, that is here is the work and here is the publication year. Writing degree 0, mythologies, the empire of Singhs, and the pleasure of the text. 1957, 1953, 1973 and 1970. Correct answer. Let me show you the option. Correct answer, everyone. It was 1957, the first and the writing degree zeros. Writing degree 0. Correct answer. Correct answer of the question is option B. You can match. Option B, that means you have to match A with second. First, writing degree 0. Writing degree 0, you can match with option 2. Mythologies 1957. The Empire of Singhs 1970. and The Pleasure of the Text 1973. So these are the correct matching of these works. I will share this PDF on Telegram because there are few questions from PYQ, so you can familiarize and analyze yourself. Next question you have. Mention the year in which Political Shakespeare, edited by Jonathan Dollimore and Alan Seinfeld, was published. Option 1 you have 1985, option B 1990, option C 1975, and option D 1980. You have to mention the year in which Political Shakespeare, edited by Jonathan Dollimore. This is the work Political Shakespeare, edited by Jonathan Dollimore and Alan Seinfeld, and in which year the work was published. You have to mention the year. Correct answer? Correct answer of the question is 1985. Political Shakespeare, Essay in Cultural Materialism 1985 is a key text in literary criticism, often tested in UGC NET for its cultural and political reading of Shakespeare. This is what Political Shakespeare we study. Next question. Political Shakespeare, Essay in Cultural Materialism 1985 is a text, key text in literary criticism. Okay. Next question, everybody. Who among the following wrote about Charlotte Bronte that her mind contained nothing but hunger, rebellion, and rage? You have to find the correct writer who wrote such line about Charlotte Bronte. And here are the options: Matthew Arnold, Elizabeth Gaskell, Virginia Woolf, and George Eliot. See the options and read the question again to find the correct answer. Who among the following wrote about Charlotte Bronte that her mind contained nothing but hunger, rebellion, and rage? Correct answer, everybody. This is the quick revision series, so we won't take much time on a single question, but we have to move fast. Matthew Arnold writes this statement about Charlotte Bronte. Matthew Arnold's critical remark in a letter reflects his view of Bronte's intense emotional style in works like Jane Eyre. Next question, everyone. Who among the following argued that children learn language based on behaviorist reinforcement principles by associating words with meaning? Option A you have Noam Chomsky, option B B.F. Skinner, option C Jean Piaget, and option D Lev Vygotsky. Who among of these writers have wrote that children learn language based on their behavior reinforcement principles by associate words with meaning? The way the British. Correct answer? Who could be? Correct answer of the question is option B, B.F. Skinner. Skinner's behaviorist theory posits language acquisition through a reinforcement, contrasting with Chomsky's nativist approach. Next question, everybody. Which of the following works have been authored by Thomas Carlyle? Option A, Sartor Resartus. Option B, The French Revolution, A History. Option C, On Heroes, Hero Worship and the Heroic in History. And option D, Culture and Anarchy. And option E, Past and Present. There must be options. Here are the options. You can choose the correct. I hope it's visible. What could be the correct answer? See the options. Read the question again. Which of the following works have been authored by Thomas Carlyle? There are many options. You have to choose the correct work of the writer Thomas Carlyle. Correct answer, everybody. Correct answer of the question is option A, that is A, B, C, E. Option A, B, C, E. A, B, C and E. D is not. Sartus Resartus, The French Revolution, On Heroes, Hero Worship and Past and Present are the works written by Thomas Carlyle. Next question. Culture and Anarchy is written by Matthew Arnold. Which of the following is a key theme in T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock? Option A, you have romantic idealism. Option B, social alienation. Option C, political revolution. And option D, religious salvation. It's a sample paper question. Correct answer, everybody? Following is a key theme you have to find in T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Correct answer of the question is social alienation. Eliot's poem explores Prufrock's isolation and anxiety in a modern urban setting, a common modernist theme. Following the common modernist theme, so the correct answer is social alienation. Next question you have, who is the author of A House for Mr. Biswas? Option A, Salman Rushdie. Option B, V.S. Naipaul. Option C, Arundhati Roy. And option D, R.K. Narayan. Author of A House for Mr. Biswas, in which the character you have Shama Tulsi, and the character is totally, it's like, if you have read this story you will understand. Correct answer, everyone. Option B, that is V.S. Naipaul. Next question you have, the term sublime in literary criticism is most associated with. Option A, Philip Sidney. Option B, Longinus. Option C, Samuel Johnson. And option D, Matthew Arnold. If the question is easy, we won't take too much time. Correct answer, sublime in literary criticism is related with none other than option B, Longinus. Next question. Longinus on the sublime, 4th century CE, defines the sublime as an aesthetic quality evoking awe, a foundational concept in literary theory. Next question you have, which of the following is a characteristic of Dalit literature? Option A, focus on courtly love. Option B, emphasis on caste oppression and resistance. Option C, celebration of colonial legacy. And option D, exploration of metaphysical themes. Correct answer you have to choose. Which of the following is a characteristic of Dalit literature? Dalit literature. I have already posted video on Dalit literature. If you have not watched, go to the description or bio and watch the video. Correct answer, Dalit literature characteristics is emphasis on caste, oppression and resistance. Dalit literature exemplified by authors like Sharan Kumar Limble addresses social injustice and caste-based marginalizations, and their writers you have Babita Ikamble, Urmila Pawar, Valmiki. There are many writers you can watch in the video I have mentioned. Next question you have, arrange the following works in chronological order of publication. Option A, Pride and Prejudice. Option B, Wuthering Heights. Option C, Middlemarch. And option D, you have Tess of D'Urberville. Correct answer, everybody. Chronological order of their publication of these works, you have to arrange them. Please like, share and subscribe. If you are watching and if you have already joined, you must like the session. Correct answer. Here, let me show you. Correct answer. Pride and Prejudice, published in 1813 by Jane Austen, Wuthering Heights 1847, Middlemarch 1871, and Tess of D'Urberville 1891. These are the correct publication year of the works given in the option. Next question you have, who among the following is considered a university wit? Option A, William Shakespeare. Option B, Christopher Marlowe. Option C, Ben Jonson. And option D, John Donne. Considered a university wit, who among the writers mentioned in the option is considered a university wit, that is the member of university wit? I have already uploaded a video on this also, prominent groups. The title is, you can also watch. Correct answer of the question is William Shakespeare, no. Ben Jonson. Christopher Marlowe is considered a university wit, not considered, but he was the prominent member of university wit. Next question you have, The concept of negative capability was introduced by option A William Wordsworth, option B John Keats, option C Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and option D you have P.B. Shelley. Concept of negative capability was introduced. Who of these writers introduced the topic, the term negative capability, the concept? Correct answer, option B John Keats. Why did he coin this term? Keats coined this term negative capability to describe a poet's ability to embrace uncertainty and ambiguity. That is why he coined this term. Next question you have, which of the following works is not by William Shakespeare? Sometimes NTA will ask you such questions that you will find what type of question he has given. So it's okay, you have to prepare yourself for to tackle all the type of questions, not just too difficult one, not just too moderate or too easy, but each type of questions. If you are the student of a UGC net, that is you are about to become an assistant professor, you have to prepare yourself to tackle each type of questions. Okay, correct answer everybody, not a work by William Shakespeare. So here clearly you can see Dr. Faustus, that is option A. Dr. Faustus is a work by Christopher Marlowe, not Shakespeare. Next question you have, which of the following is a key feature of new criticism? Option A you have a focus on historical context, option B emphasis on close reading of the text, and option C analysis of author's biography, and option D exploration of socio-political themes. The key feature you have to find out from the given options, that was the part of new criticism. Correct answer, key feature of new criticism. Correct answer of the question is option B emphasis on close reading of the text. That was the most highlighted point of new criticism. Next question you have, who wrote the poem The Second Coming? Who wrote the poem The Second Coming? Option A W.B. Yeats, option B T.S. Eliot, option C W.H. Auden, option D Ezra Pound. Correct answer everybody. This type of question, if students find in exam na, they become so much happy, and so it's okay. The Second Coming is a poem by W.B. Yeats. Next question, the National Education Policy NEP 2020 emphasizes option A rote learning, option B multidisciplinary education, option C single language instruction, and option D standardized testing. Correct answer, National Education Policy 2020 emphasizes on which of the given options? Correct answer everybody, multidisciplinary field, multidisciplinary education. Okay, why? Because they want to promote the holistic and flexible learning approaches relevant to English pedagogy. Next question you have, which of the following award is associated with Indian theatre? Option A you have Pulitzer Prize, option B Sultan Padamsee Award, option C Booker Prize, and option D you have Nobel Prize. Which of these prizes awards is associated with Indian theatre? Varieties of question I have tried to put in the PDF. Correct answer, the award that is associated with Indian theatre is Sultan Padamsee Award. Okay, next question you have, in Waiting for Godot, Samuel Beckett explores which theme? Option A romantic love, option B existential absurdity, option C political revolution, option D religious salvation. Samuel Beckett explores which theme in the work Waiting for Godot? The answer is clear. Correct answer of the question is option B existential absurdity. Next question. Also, please subscribe the channel everybody. Who is the protagonist of Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie? Option A Salim Sinai, option B Shiva, option C Parvati, and option D Padma. Correct answer, protagonist of Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie. Actually, my aim is to grow fast and to start the series and class for paper 1 also, because few students were also asking for the paper 1 class, so I was thinking it will be possible if my student will support. Correct answer: who is the main protagonist in Midnight Children by Salman Rushdie? Salim Sinai. Next question, everyone. The term defamiliarization is associated with which literary movement? Option A, Romanticism. Option B, Russian formalism. Option C, Realism. And option D, Naturalism. Defamiliarization is associated with which literary movement? Correct answer: defamiliarization. I have already uploaded few questions from December PYQs, and in that question, that PDF, that video, you will find the term about the most important term given by the writers of different ages. So defamiliarization is related with Russian formalism coined by Viktor Shklovsky. Next question you have, which of the following is a work by Edgar Allan Poe? Option A, The Scarlet Letter. Option B, The Fall of the House of Usher. Option C, Moby Dick. And option D, Walden. Correct answer: Edgar Allan Poe. Which of the following work he has written? Correct answer. Correct answer of the question is option B, that is The Fall of the House of Usher. Next question you have, the term intertextuality is most associated with option A, Julia Kristeva, option B, Roland Barthes, option C, Northrop Frye, and option D, Clint Brooks. Intertextuality. Correct answer: Julia Kristeva. The term intertextuality is related with the writer Julia Kristeva. Next question, everybody. Which of the following is a feminist text? Option A, Room of One's Own. Option B, Sartor Resartus. Option C, The Prelude. And option D, Hard Times. Following work is a feminist text. It's easy. Option A, that is A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf, published in 1929. Next question you have, the character Heathcliff appears in which novel? Remember, this is the quick revision series, so you all have to prepare yourself to answer every question. If the question is easy, you won't take too much time. Quickly you have to answer. So, the character Heathcliff appears in which novel? Option A, Jane Eyre. Option B, Wuthering Heights. Option C, Great Expectations. And option D, Bleak House. Heathcliff character appears in which of the novel given in the options? Correct answer of the question is option B, Wuthering Heights. Option B, Wuthering Heights. Next question, everyone. Which Indian author wrote The God of Small Things? Option A, Arundhati Roy. Option B, Jhumpa Lahiri. Option C, Anita Desai. And option D, Kiran Desai. Correct answer: Indian author who wrote the work The God of Small Things. Of this writer, this work is majorly asked. Correct answer of the question is option A, Arundhati Roy. This work is a Booker Prize winner. Next question you have, the term catharsis in literary criticism originates from option A, Aristotle's Poetic, option B, Longinus on the Sublime, option C, Sidney's An Apology for Poetry, and option D, Dryden's An Essay of Dramatic Poesy. Correct answer: catharsis in literary criticism originates from which of the writer's work? Correct answer of the question is option A, that is Aristotle's Poetic. Option A, Aristotle's Poetic. Next question you have, which of the following is a feature of post-colonial literature? Option A, celebration of colonial rule. Option B, exploration of hybrid identities. Option C, focus on medieval themes. And option D, you have emphasis on classical mythology. You have to find out the feature of post-colonial literature. Post-colonial literature. Once the exam will over, I will bring the series of the following topic step by step. The feature of post-colonial literature is option B, exploration of hybrid identities. Next question, everyone. Which classic American novel has been criticized for its frequent use of the racial slur nigger? It's very important. Option A, you have The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Option B, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Option C, Moby Dick. And option D, The Great Gatsby. Correct answer, everyone, quickly. Which classic American novel has been criticized for its frequent use of racial slur nigger? This term has negative significance used majorly in the work. Correct answer of the question is option B, that is Huckleberry Finn. Let me explain you. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain has long been considered one of the greatest works of American literature, but it has also faced ongoing criticism for its portrayal of race. The novel frequently uses the word nigger, a deeply offensive racial slur historically used to demean and dehumanize black people in the United States. So this is why this question is asked by NTA, that why this word is used and in which work and by which writer, and what is the meaning of this word, and what does this meaning this word signifies, the meaning this word signifies. You have to relate and memorize everything related to one particular concept term if there is mentioned. I am sharing the selected questions on the Telegram channel. Next question, everyone. In which Salman Rushdie novel does Flapping Eagle, an immoral Native American, serve as the main character? Option A, you have The Satanic Wars. Option B, Midnight Children. Option C, Victory City. And option D, Gramus. In which Salman Rushdie novel does Flapping Eagle, an immoral Native American, serve as the main character? Flapping Eagle. You have to find the work in which this thing is used. Correct answer, everyone. Option D, Grimus. Grimus is Salman Rushdie's first novel. Do remember, published in 1975. The story centers on Flapping Eagle, a young Native American who becomes immortal after drinking a mysterious elixir. His journey leads him through surreal landscapes and philosophical explorations of identity, isolation, and reality. This question is very important. Next question you have. Which English writer famously opposed the Licensing Act of 1643, advocating for freedom of the press? Option A, John Milton. Option B, Thomas Brown. Option C, Andrew Marvell. And option D, Abraham Cowley. Which English writer famously opposed the Licensing Act of 1643, advocating for freedom of press? What answer you can choose? Correct answer, everyone. Licensing Act of 1643, famously opposed. Correct answer of the question is John Milton. John Milton strongly opposed the Licensing Act of 1643 through his landmark pamphlet Areopagitica. In it, he argued against pre-publication censorship and championed freedom of expression, making it one of the most influential defenses of press liberty in English literature. Do remember. Next question. In the following cluster of poems, which one prominently features the voyage motif? Option A, Adonis. Option B, The Revolt of Islam. Option C, Ode to the West Wind. And option D, Alastair. In the following cluster of poems, which one prominently features the voyage motif? You have to find the correct poem from the given options that featured voyage motif. Correct answer of the question is option D, Alastair. Alastair or the Spirit of Solitude by P.B. Shelley is the poem that most clearly embodies the voyage motif. It follows a solitary poet on a metaphysical, metaphorical, and physical journey in search of ideal beauty and truth. This inner and outer voyage reflects both literal sense. Okay. Next question you have. Here are the other explanations. Both literal and travel through nature and spiritual quest, making the voyage central to its structure and themes. And next question you have. In Sydney's sonnet sequence Astrophel and Stella, how does the final sonnet, that is 108, conclude? Option A brings no resolution, option B ends in joy, option C brings a definite resolution, and option D promises another sonnet sequence. In Sydney's sonnet sequence Astrophel and Stella, how does the final sonnet 108 conclude? What could be the correct answer? Correct answer of the question is option A, brings no resolution. Next question, everyone. Should I explain? Sonnet 108 of Astrophel and Stella ends with emotional ambiguity and unresolved longing. Astrophel still struggles with his desire and moral conflict, and there is no clear conclusion or satisfaction. That is why satisfaction, leaving the sequence open ended rather than resolved. That is why this is the correct answer. Next question, everyone. Who claimed, I have not published a single paper that is not written in a spirit of benevolence and with a love of mankind? Option A, you have Alexander Pope. Option B, John Dryden. Option C, Jonathan Swift. And option D, Joseph Addison. Who claimed of the given writers that I have not published a single paper that is not written in a spirit of benevolence and with a love of mankind? Correct answer. Do subscribe also if you have just joined and watching for the first time. Please share more to more students, everybody. This is the quick revision series. Will continue till your exam. Correct answer of the question is who claimed. The writer is it keeps happening in my video. Joseph Addison. Joseph Addison, a key figure in early 18th century periodical writing, made this claim to emphasize the moral and uplifting intent behind his essays, particularly in The Spectator. His work aimed to refine public taste and promote virtue through gentle satire and reasoned argument. So correct answer is Joseph Addison. Next question you have. Which literary protagonist writes a letter of confession that accidentally gets lost under a carpet and is only discovered on the wedding day? Option A, Bathsheba. Option B, Lucetta. Option C, Sue. And option D, Tess. Correct answer, everyone. Which literary protagonist writes a letter of confession that accidentally gets lost under a carpet and is only discovered on the wedding day? Correct answer of the question is Tess. In Thomas Hardy's Tess of D'Urberville, Tess writes a heartfelt confession to Angel Clare about her past, placing the letter under his door. Tragically, it slips beneath the carpet and goes unread until after their wedding, setting off a chain of emotional and moral conflicts in the novel. So, correct answer is Tess of D'Urberville. Next question you have. Do not miss this quick revision series. You will see each pattern type of questions, different type of questions. Which of the following are correct about T.S. Eliot's tradition and the individual talent? Option you have, it was first published in The Egoist. Option B, it discusses the impersonality of poetry. Option C, Eliot argues for the importance of poets' emotions in poetry. And option D, the essay introduces the concept of historical sense. Correct answer. In terms of tradition and individual talent, you have to find the correct statement. If you have just joined, please subscribe, everyone. I also feel bad reminding you. Do watch the full video, whole video. It will be helpful for you. So here is the correct answer. B and D. That is, it discusses the impersonality of poetry, and the essay introduces the concept of historical sense. That is tradition. Eliot's essay emphasizes impersonality in poetry and introduces the historical sense as vital to literary tradition. Next question. Which of the following writers are associated with the angry young man movement in British literature? Option A, John Osborne. Option B, Kingsley Amis. And option C, Harold Pinter. And option D, Samuel Beckett. Angry young man movement. Which of the following writers are associated with this movement? I have already uploaded the June 2024 PYQs. If you have not watched yet, go to the description, go to the bio, and do watch the video. The questions are very helpful. Correct answer of the question is Angry Young Man Movement, option A and B, that is John Osborne and Kingsley Amis. Next question you have, which of the following are post-colonial theoretical text? And the options you have, The Empire Writes Back, option B, Orientalism, option C, The Location of Culture, and option D, Modern Tragedy. What would be the correct answer? Correct answer, everyone? You have to find out the post-colonial theoretical text. So correct answer of the question is option A, B and C. That is A, B and C. The Empire Writes Back, option B, Orientalism, and option C, The Location of Culture. Next question, everyone. Identify the text written by women authors in the 18th century. Option A, Evelina. Option B, Pamela. Option C, A Vindication of the Rights of Women. And option D, Tom Jones. Correct answer. You have to find the text that is based on women authors, written by women authors in the 18th century. One question can be twisted in many ways, so you have to prepare your mind to tackle each type of question and to understand each type of meaning that they will twist. Correct answer of the question is the work is option A and C. That is Evelina, Fanny Byrne, and option C, A Vindication of the Rights of Women, Mary Wollstonecraft. Next question, everyone. It's difficult to bring the... Okay. Next question you have, which of the following are features of metaphysical poetry? Option A, use of scientific and philosophical imagery. Option B, dramatic monologue form. Option C, smooth and musical versification. And option D, use of conceits. Correct answer, which of the following are features of metaphysical poetry? You have to find out who are the members of metaphysical poetry and who coined this term. Comment your answer. Nobody comment. Instead of few students, it's okay. Maybe you have not learned how to comment. Someday you will learn. Correct answer, everyone. You have to find out the feature of metaphysical poetry. So the correct answer here is option A and D. That is use of conceit and use of scientific and philosophical imagery. Metaphysical poets like Donne used elaborate conceits and references to science, philosophy, dramatic monologue, and musicality, and more characteristics of later poets like Browning or Romantic poets. Next question. Who among the following is included in the university wits but did not study at a university? It's a frequent asked question by NET. Frequent. Option A, Christopher Marlowe. Option B, Robert Greene. Option C, Thomas Nash. And option D, Thomas Kidd. The one member who have been included in the member of university wits but did not study at a university. Correct answer, everyone. You know the answer. I have already uploaded the video. Thomas Kidd. Option D, Thomas Kidd, the one member who have been included in the university members list but did not attend any university. Next question you have, it's a matching. Match the list 1 with list second, and I have to decrease the size so that everything is visible to you. No, it's not going to be possible. See the option, see the term here first. The term you have ambivalence, magic realism, abrogation, and miscegenation, and the here are the definition that you have to relate with the term. One, rejection of a normative concept of correct or standard English. Option 2, marriage or cohabitation by persons of different race. Option 3, complex mix of attraction and repulsion. And option 4, the inclusion of fantastic or mythical elements into seemingly realistic fiction. What would be the correct answer? These are the terms you have to match: ambivalence, magic realism, abrogation, and miscegenation. Correct answer, everyone? Here are the options. See the option first and then try to match correctly. Please subscribe and share to more and more students if you are watching for the first time. Correct answer, everyone. Option 4, that is you have to match magic realism, rejection of a normative concept of correct or standard English. I will share this question on Telegram. It's too long. You have to match correctly. Let me show you the explanation. It will clear with the definition. So ambivalence, the first, refers to having mixed feeling or contradictory ideas about something or someone, which corresponds to definition, that is complex mix of attraction and repulsion. So the ambivalence with option third. Magic realism is a literary or artistic genre where magical or fantastical elements are incorporated into a realistic setting, aligning with definition fourth. That is, you have to match fourth with the magic realism. And the next, abrogation means the repeal or abolition of law, right, or agreement fitting definition. That is, you have to match with first, rejection of a normative concept of correct or standard English. And the last one you have, miscegenation is the interbreeding of people considered to be of different racial types, matching the definition with the second, that is marriage or cohabitation by person of different race. Okay. Here are the next question. Which of the following is a major criticism of English in India in the context of education? Option A, English impairs students' ability to think critically. Option B, English is seen as a symbol of socio-economic elitism. Option C, English is primarily used for literature and arts education. And option D, English leads to the marginalization of other languages in India. You have to find the major criticism of English in India in the context of education, that what was the thinking and perspective of the critics about English using in India in education. Correct answer, everyone? Option B, that is English is now seen as a symbol of socio-economic elitism. Next question you have, who among the following invented Inkscape and Interest? This is the question from PYQs of June 2023. Shift second or shift first, I don't remember exactly, but this is the PYQ. Correct answer, who invented Inkscape and Interest? Correct answer of the question is G.M. Hopkins. Next question you have, who is the author of the Life Divine? This is also the PYQ. Life Divine, you have to find out the author. Option A, Dante. Option B, Emerson. Option C, Sri Aurobindo. Option D, Jayant Mahapatra. It's easy to guess. The Life Divine is the work by Sri Aurobindo. Next question. What is practical criticism? Option A, you have analysis of literary text to reveal political meaning. Option B, a moment to make literary criticism more relevant. Option C, close analysis of poems without external context. And option D, the study of ambiguity. Practical criticism, the term given by I.A. Richard. Correct answer, everyone? Correct answer of the question is option C, close analysis of poems without external context. External context, that means without caring writer's background, historical context, such thing. Next question you have a palindrome. This is also a PYQ. You have to see the June 2023 shift first question PYQs. I have already uploaded. Go to the bio and do watch the video. Relevant content I have posted, everyone, so do watch, because this is the last time, final preparation time. You all have to prepare and tackle each type of question, so you have to solve PYQs and mock test. What could be the correct answer? A palindrome is a recantation in song or verse. Option B, a play on words by alteration of letters. Option C, a word or sentence which reads the same both ways. And option D, a sequence of clauses or sentence which have a symmetrical structure. A palindrome. You can't miss anything. You are not the student of TGT, PGT, but the NTA level, UGC NET level. You are about to become an assistant professor, so you have to learn to tackle each type of pattern of question that you will face in your exam. So what would be the correct answer? Correct answer of the question is option C, that a word or sentence which reads the same both ways. Option C, a word or sentence which reads the same both ways. So these are the questions that I have brought in quick revision series every day. Do remember, mark your availability for 2 o'clock every day. You have to study like this to prepare for your final exam, final session. So this is all for today. Thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for your support. At last, what do you have to do? If you know, then do that. Do subscribe and share the channel to more and more students. Until then, take care and bye-bye. Thank you so much, everyone.